Hi, my name's Juergen Hoehne, and I'm doing this for a friend of mine. His name is Kyle. And the question I had on the airplane was, when do you outsource? And because everything in the world comes down to a number, I came up with a method to calculate when you outsource. Little background, he's got a team in Scottsdale and a team in India of software developers for a chip company here in Arizona. And he says the ratio of the Indians is about 5 times that to one US guy. So he can hire a US guy at $60 while the Indians cost him $25 per hour, but their productivity is a fifth. And I thought about that, and this is the answer and why this is and when you outsource. So I call it the key question burden. So let's say you have a project, 40 hours, and you assume that the productivity of one US engineer is equal to an Indian engineer. Apples to apples. One project, 40 hours total. And in the US, say we choose a labor rate for a consultant of $100 an hour. That's $4,000 for, let's assume there are 10 key questions, left, right questions that stall the development of the 40-hour project. These 10 key questions, if you're local, down the hall here, then say there's a 15-minute delay. Juergen. And each one of these 10 is a 15-minute delay. That means there's 150 minutes of delay time for the 10 key questions, or 2.5 hours of, quote, neutral time. So in this case, the key question burden, the KQB, is 40 hours divided by 2.5 hours, or 6%, or 0.006. And that's the key figure here at $100 an hour. Now, let's assume you have a one-day delay, which is very common if you're working overseas. The question gets sent, you scratch your head, you get busy. One-day delay, I'm just calculating an 8-hour time times 10 key questions. Cycle 1 key questions, you have to be on hold, you do some more testing, but you don't move further. That means 80 hours, right? 8 hours per question delay. 10 key questions, 80 hours. So what's the key KQB? Key question burden here, it's 40 divided by 80, or 200%, or 2, ratio 2, is the key question burden. But in most cases, the delay is 3 days because you have one cycle, right? You get a beginning of your day, it's the end of their day, it goes all day, maybe 3 days. And that means it's 8 hours times 3 days times 10 questions, key questions, is a 240-hour burden. That's the idle cycle time of 0-1 questions. So when you look at a 40-hour project divided by a burden, this is project management issues, of 240 hours, you get a 600% key question burden, or 6 ratio. So what does that mean? Do you outsource or not outsource? What rate are you willing to pay, say, an Indian programming team with a 3-day delay? The answer is, you have a $4,000 budget, you divide it by the 600%, or 6 key KQB, and you get $16 an hour burdened, right? Because you have so many cycle times. So you outsource if your rate for this is under 16. You don't insource if your rate is over 16 an hour. Current labor rate of $30 to $25 per hour. The answer is, for a short project with 40 hours, you don't outsource. You keep it stateside, and $100 an hour is cheaper than having $25 an hour in India. And that's how you do it. That's the key thing. It's the KQB. Very simple math. Kyle, I hope you enjoyed this.